Welcome to episode 19 of Steins Gate. Last time was the Ruka episode, reversing that D-mail and going on a date with her and making her into a boy again. And this time we'll be dealing with Moeka. So that's interesting. We can maybe learn about her, see what happens when we confront her, if she starts remembering other world lines like Ruka and Ferris did. We'll see, because right now I would definitely say I don't like Moeka, but of course there will be more to her. We will find out what is happening with her character and why she is doing what she's doing, and that's interesting. So, yeah, I've got the subtitles and the timer if you want to follow along that way, or you can pull the episode up completely on your own if you'd like, but either way, we're going to watch it and then discuss it at the end. So let's go ahead and click play on episode 19 in 3, 2, 1... Alrighty, the actual D-mail itself that Moeka had sent was irrelevant. It was just this test, unless there was more to it that she was doing that we don't know about. But it's just the fact that we are dealing with Moeka, and now what we know about her, that's interesting. Being a rounder and killer of Mayuri, and here she is. In, hell? Okay, thank you, yes, good. Sure. That thing that you just showed me, yes, to that, I agree. Okay, well then, anyway, while the OP is playing, let me just say, we got 6 episodes left, counting this one, goddamn, but that's still a little bit of time left. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. New episodes of Steins Gate are on Monday. And if you want to come talk about it in other places, check out my Twitter and Discord. And the Patreon if you want to get these videos early and support the channel. Those links are all down below. Although there's other stuff. There's a movie. There's specials and OVAs. And there's the whole Steins Gate Zero thing. And I wasn't really planning on watching that after this. I was planning on probably watching it sometime in the future, but not right after. But I don't know. I don't plan things. That's why I let my patrons vote on which shows I do, so I don't have to pick. They just vote, and then I do what they voted for. When I'm done with one show, I do the next one that they voted for. When I have to decide for myself, it's a spur-of-the-moment thing. It's yeah, I'm not going to do Steins Gate Zero. And then one day it's I feel like doing Steins Gate Zero. And then I just go back on everything that I said. Oh, he's a leg jiggler. Me too, pal. You guys can't see it, but in practically every reaction, my leg is jiggling. Quite often. What's happening? What is this? We are over 0.5 on the divergence meter now. That's good. We're getting there. Oh, me too. Crowded places. Not good. Not good. Yeah, she was. Gonna tell her? I know, but we're working on it. We're making progress. We're getting there. Just keep on doing what you've been doing. It's been going well. A lot. It's called Endless Apoptosis. I had a Pop-Tart for breakfast. That's mostly the same. So now it's one more day later. Okay, well, that always gives you a little more time then. It keeps delaying it for some reason. Why? Okay. Yeah, that sucks. That you feel like you need to watch that. Oh yeah. Pretty simple, but the person we're dealing with could be a problem. Nah, it doesn't seem like it works that way. It just always happens. So she's like, no, I'll help. You do it right now. Try to get it done now. So you don't have to watch her die in this world line. Try to stop it before that happens. Hey, that's a good line. So let's go to Goodle and bummer. That's a fun, friendly text. Where's that? Arc rewrite. Don't call me Roger. Okay, not a current employee. Can you just give out an address of a former employee? We have a crime scene. Heights white. 5'10", why do you ask? Oh! Okay, we're gonna have to go back. So would Mayuri not have died? Would she have? She probably still would have died. Just by different ways, because it wasn't always Moeka. So now that she wasn't able to accomplish her goal, for whatever reason, she killed herself, or she was killed. All because Ruka has a vagina again, or a penis again, whichever. She's a boy now. Ruka having a penis killed Moeka. Well, shit. Thanks for your help, Kurisu, but this was unexpected. Yeah. Oh man, sucks that she had to be there for that. I wonder how it happened. Doesn't matter. Could be anything. Back to when he ate the pudding or whatever. Look at her mouth. Alright, so let's figure out what's happening with Moeka. Will this be like a one-episode arc? We might go into more. I mean, if we had one episode devoted to Ruka on a date, I think something as important as this probably deserves more time than that, but I don't know, we might fit it into one. Hello, it's open. What are we gonna find in this place? Is that her over there in the corner? That's terrifying. That face is pretty creepy too. FB, yeah, I know. Fuck buddy? Have I ever theorized fuck buddy? Huh. Could be. Friendly barber. She needs a haircut. Frank Birmingham. It's just a guy named Frank. He won't respond, won't give her orders, which is driving her crazy. Maybe that's why she killed herself. FB just wouldn't talk to her anymore. She just couldn't log back into Facebook. Her account got locked and killed herself. Tragic. They should make a Black Mirror episode about that. They kind of did. A little bit. Shit. God damn. Holy. This is such a different... the person in the leather with the gun. Bam. She's just pathetic on the ground here. Like... Oh my god. Whoa! Holy shit! That was the coolest thing that's ever happened. I respect it when media is willing to show women getting punched. Don't take that out of context. You know what I mean. Because generally... It's like, no, you can't hit a woman, and like, sure, you shouldn't hit people just in general. But, in a fictional piece of media, when the situation does call for a man to justifiably hit a woman, if the media is willing to have that happen, and not be afraid of being, getting backlash for it, that's the one good part of Suicide Squad, when Batman punched Harley Quinn in the face. I was like, alright, cool. Holy shit. Yeah. I don't know. God, she really wants that damn phone. Yeah. Right. See, I had said that there might be more to her message. Something, could be like a secret code only she would understand, or that just what she did instead of going to get a new phone was going to be important, but there was just straight up another message or more to the message that we just don't even know about. So that changes even more. God, she's insane. He just tackles the shit out of her. He's gonna throw her through the window. Dude. I think this is an addiction, and we need an intervention for the phone here. This is gonna look bad to random people. It's not, at this point, it's not gonna look like a fight. She'll just close the door. Be like, Chah. Good cover. Oh, what just... Oh, damn. Settle the hell down? Act like a human being? Nope. What did it say? Well, if it'll let her have her phone back, she might actually tell you, because she wants that fucking thing. So you know about that? I don't know, if you say too much, she might not tell you. But she wants that phone. She can't betray FB. Even though he won't respond. Well, shit. Of course, he has no idea who or what FB is, but he's got to get her to give it up, give up the information. Hello, this looks like a school uniform. How did he save you? Oh, now we're back here in the Shadow Realm. Was she like going to kill herself, but was saved by a call from FB somehow? Just got this message for some reason. I don't know where that came from, why he messaged her. But doing it right then is like, oh, he's given me a purpose. Huh. Now this FB mystery is pretty serious business now. So I guess he never responded, and that's why she did it. God damn. He is laying it on thick. Ooh, and he... Whoa. He's getting dark. And he sounded like he was okay with it. He's like, you, Mayuri's killer, alone, in this empty room like a piece of garbage. Shit. You broke her. You gotta feel a little bad just seeing that image on the floor. Do you even know? You think so? So FB is possibly a woman? Wow. Just messages. Okay. A message about procuring the IBN. That's what it was. She had taken it. It's a trap. That should do it, right? Hello? Anything? Anybody? Thought the video froze for a second. No, nothing happened? Well, shit. She didn't believe it? She didn't believe the second one? Uh-oh. Oh, fuck. You're right. Yeah, that's bad. You gotta rely on them doing what you want and believing these messages. Alright, so I think this is gonna be going into another episode. You sure did. Yep. That's really not forgivable. You know, I get your circumstances, but you just can't be killing people. Yeah, I mean, if you accept that her death is fate, then so is Mayuri's. And we can't have that. Damn, he was grabbing her hard. He had to. Well, shit, we have the location of the IBN. Damn it. I hate you, ending. Every time you show up, you're just a bother. I don't generally listen to the whole ED. But, I don't even ever want to. Because it just conceptually, it bothers me. I would hear the Steins Gate ED out of context, and I wouldn't even be like, oh yeah, the Steins Gate ED. I'd be like, oh yeah, the thing that always stopped the episode and made me have to wait for the next one. So, yeah, nothing after, just a little preview. So, let's talk about that episode. Alright, episode 19. The last two episodes were not the best of Steins Gate as we focused on Ferris and Ruka and changing their D-mails, but this episode brings it back, which I assumed it would because of the focus on Moeka, who is much more important in the grand scheme of things, being with the Rounders, with CERN, being the one who killed Mayuri. I figured we would get some interesting tidbits about her, because of course, don't like her from everything we've seen of her. Just seeing that one instance of her killing Mayuri, it's like, wow, my opinion totally changed on you so fast. And of course I knew there had to be, some backstory, some history there, reasons for why she's doing what she's doing. Whether that would make me forgive her or not, or understand her or not, we would have to wait and see, but I figured it would be coming, and that, we'd get some focus on her in this episode. And it was pretty damn good. I really like what it did. I like that we're continuing that storyline past this one episode, that it didn't work by the end. Before getting into all the Moeka stuff, I love all the stuff with Okabe and Kurisu, as always. Okabe just being so nervous, waiting for Mayuri's death to happen, because it's been delayed by another day, thanks to the last email, but it still seems like it's going to happen, and he wants to know the exact time. He wants to know exactly when it's going to be, which sucks that he feels like he has to wait and watch it happen again. And then Mayuri can't cheer him up because he's so nervous about this, and him telling Kurisu and just them talking about it, that he's always willing to tell her all this. He's like, how many times have I told you this? Probably so many times. And the line that she said, like, it doesn't matter what world line you're on, you aren't alone. That's great. It sucks because he's completely forgetting what started this whole thing, which was her dying, and I feel like the audience is kind of meant to forget that too. Because, especially if you're watching the show weekly when it was airing on TV, that was way at the beginning. We've gotten so much more information since then, and it really hasn't been referenced again at all. So I really think the audience is kind of supposed to forget, as Okabe seems to, just for it to then come back at the end. And yay, we did it! Nope, Kurisu's dead now. So that makes it kind of sad, thinking that that's going to happen. But yeah, it is a great line. Great moments between them. I love the text that she sends him when she's with Mayuri. Just like totally friendly, normal texts and everything. Her going to this place and dealing with this crowd she doesn't want to deal with. Relatable. Like, no, we're going to try to do this now. I will stay with Mayuri. I'll let you know if anything happens. Go to Moeka now. And then hearing Kurisu on the phone when Mayuri did die, because of course we know that even if Moeka and the Rounders aren't there, it doesn't matter. You don't have to have somebody there to kill her. She'll just die in whatever way is possible in some weird Final Destination accident. So it happened. We don't know how. And I kind of like that. I like just hearing Kurisu's cries over the phone, and that we don't really need to know what happened. It could just be literally anything, and it's up to our imagination. But that's pretty heartbreaking to hear her reacting like that, and Okabe to just be like, gotta do it, gotta go back. So yeah, about Moeka though, she killed herself. That was pretty surprising to see. And then he goes back and we get to learn about her and why and what brought her into this whole thing. And she seems to have just been completely suicidal and depressed, and we don't know exactly why, and I don't think we need to there either. I don't think we need to see an entire history of her life and learn every single detail that made her depressed. I think we just kind of get it. We just see her in a school uniform, alone, and then about to kill herself. My biggest question about stuff that happened before that is related to FB, not her. Because FB calls her, or messages her in that moment, and basically stops her from killing herself, saying that they have a job they can give her. So in that moment, this person literally saved her life and gave her a purpose when she seems to never have had one or valued herself or thought that there was anything that she could do. My question, though, is like, what's going on with this FB person? How did he know about Moeka? How did he know to send this at this exact right time? How does he know the exact right thing to say? Like, to manipulate and use these people. And might be a woman. Moeka's not sure, never met, never spoken. Just messages them. Putting on like this act of whatever they need. Like acting, telling Moeka what she needs to hear. How do they know? How do they know all this and how they need to act and what they need to say? I don't know, but it's an interesting episode because it definitely adds more to Moeka, makes you feel for her. Yeah, I can't forgive her because she murdered Mayuri in cold blood for no reason. For no good reason whatsoever, other than that's the order, and that's not cool. You're so indebted to this person, you're going to do anything that they say. She's got this extreme attachment to this FB person, but when it goes so far as you're going to throw away your moral principles and anything that you may know is right in order to go as far as to murder someone, an innocent teenage girl, I don't really care what your circumstances are at that point. I'm not really gonna forgive you. I can understand, but that's still pretty fucked up. But since we are working on changing that and making it so that never happened, Seems like we will be setting up to save Moeka as well as Mayuri, save her from this whole incident and redeem her, which I can definitely get behind, as long as we prevent the murder from actually happening and we can get her some help, because it's genuinely like a mental health issue. She seemed completely depressed and suicidal, so to have this one person who gave her this and saved her from that, I can't pretend to know what it feels like to be in that kind of state of mind, to be that depressed, and then to have that level of attachment to this person. So yeah, I get it. I understand where she's coming from and makes me empathize with her. Just seeing the difference between her clad in leather with a gun ready to shoot Mayuri in the head and seeing her as this little ball in the corner of the dark room, just FB, 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 and her crawling on the ground like just this mess of a person, her buttons undone, her hair all disheveled, and just give me the phone, and it's crazy. You're like, oh my god, this bitch is insane, as she's just pounding on the door, give it back, give it back, give it back. But just seeing those images of her crawling on the ground, and then at the end, after Okabe yelled at her so much, her just on the ground crying. They did a good job of that imagery of making you feel for her in those moments. Yeah, I get it. She's clearly been through a lot. She's a messed up person. I can't just directly forgive her for the murder, but I understand what led her to that point, and if we can set on the path to, fixing that and stopping the one who's truly behind it, seemingly this FB person, then that's what we need to do. Punching her in the face was fucking awesome. That was cool as shit. Though just the wind up, and I'm I don't know what he's gonna do. Is he just gonna hit her in the face and just bam, and then kicked her all the way across the room? I'm holy shit. Damn, awesome. Yeah, in the moment, perfectly justifiable, I think, with how insane she was being, crawling all over him and all that stuff, and just how psycho she was being, and you could not talk or reason with her, in addition to just who she is, being the one who murdered Mayuri, and how much he personally hates her for that, and everything that he's been through, and how unhinged he probably is right now. I'm perfectly justifiable, and like I said in the reaction, I kind of appreciate it when when a show is willing to make something like that happen, because a lot of people will just see a woman being hit in a story and just under any context will say, no, that's wrong, and that's just frankly stupid. There are some contexts where you gotta do shit like that. Generally, in real life, I don't advocate for just hitting people in general. But if you gotta do it, if you're in a situation like that, and the context calls for it, which I think it does here, the fact that she's a girl is not gonna stop you from punching her. Gotta do what you gotta do. So the fact that they're willing to have the main character punch this girl in the face and kick her across the room, I kind of respect that they were willing to do that. And just the way he yelled at her so much, he was getting so angry, just trying to drill this into her head to make her understand, which is really dark, just because we understand the mental state that she's in and how devastating this would be to hear. And it's dark of him because he's just getting so into it and maybe kind of enjoying it just because of how much he hates her in the moment. But we know that he needs to say it. This is the only thing that can get through to her, and he needs to get this information. So for him to just say, you were abandoned, you were used, you were tossed aside, you kill yourself, FB never responds, you, Mayuri's killer, die alone in this dark room, abandoned like garbage. You end your life. It's holy shit. God damn, dude. That was crazy. That was pretty intense. The whole sequence it went by really fast. So much of the episode was just them in that room on the floor, and it just went by so fast, and the end happens, and I'm god damn it, there's that stupid ED again. The episode's over, and I gotta wait. I really want to see what's going to happen. The use of D-mails in the episode was really good. Just the fact that the first one, it doesn't work, and we're what's happening? It didn't work. These things are usually pretty reliable. We've been doing it pretty well in the last couple episodes. Fix Ferris's, fix Ruka's, it's good. But no, she actually sent another D-mail, which I thought something like that might have happened, that there might be something else that she sent or something else that she did in that period of time, or just something else going on there, knowing who Moeka is. And yeah, she sent another D-mail that she hadn't told them about. the fact that she told herself to go get the IBN, so she's the one who had taken it. And then even at the end, okay, we got past all that, we found out what that was, we're telling her, no, that's a trap, don't do it, and it still doesn't work, and it's like, shit. It just pauses on that screen, and I'm like, what is it, what's happening? And it didn't work. It didn't work at all, so we're continuing the storyline, which I really like. That's really interesting that the D-mails just failed us in this moment, that it's not that easy to get somebody like her to listen to you, and it's got to be FB. We got to find this FB person. She tells him about the coin locker where the IBN is, but I hope we find out who FB is next time, because it's been a thing in the background this whole time, and I've been curious, but that's not been my main focus in the show. There's a lot of other things to be interested in, but now, with this episode, now I'm like, yeah, this FB is like kind of the main antagonist, it seems, in a way, other than just CERN in general, like a person we could maybe put a name or face to and call an antagonist. This person is the person, the guy, the woman, whatever, the dude that we gotta go stop. So I'm very curious, and I hope we find out who it is next time. It seems like we gotta be finding who they are. So we'll see. Because again, clearly, who knows what the hell we'll find out about this person, but it seems like they were clearly just completely using and manipulating Moeka, and who knows who else. I don't know about those other people who were in the Rounders. But just, they needed her in order to do this thing, so they acted in a way that would get her to trust them and be indebted to them, and then when they were done, just ghosted her, and that's it, which would lead to her killing herself, which is what they had saved her from in the first place. So this person clearly never cared, from how it seems here. So they seem like they're the bad one, and Moeka is a victim of them. Again, can't forgive her from going as far as to kill someone, but it's you empathize and understand what she went through and understand that she is not the root problem. So who is FB? Well, I really can't say. I'm very curious. I talked about before, like when FB was first mentioned, I'm thinking, okay, initials. It's not just going to be somebody's initials that we know their full name, because that's stupid. Like if we just knew somebody whose initials were FB, which we don't even as far as we know. The only people that I thought of at the time, I'm like, okay, Ferris is an F, but obviously not the case. Mr. Brown is a B, but that's not even his real name. Okabe made that up. So, yeah. Now, there's a possibility... Well, I don't think it's gonna... It could just be some person that we've never met before, and we're introduced to them, and they're the villain. They've been in the background this whole time, and now we met them, and they've got a cool design, and there they are, they're the villain. I don't think so, though. I think that'd be kind of underwhelming. I think it kind of has to be somebody that we know, but it's not going to be any of the main characters. That doesn't make any sense. It could be, like, one of them from the future. Could be like they could have a future evil version of themselves, of any particular one of them. Or you've got like the only people who aren't in like the main crew, the lab members, like the only other characters are Mr. Brown and his daughter. So then there's them, and like it could be him, or him from the future, or the daughter from the future. Because FB might not be real initials, might not be part of his real name. He might be using Brown, this nickname Okabe gave him, as a nickname. I don't know what the F is, but yeah, so that might be the case. But, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna just be somebody from the future, but I don't know. I can't really say completely surely, because it doesn't make sense for it to be any of them. It doesn't make sense for it to be some random person. Again, like the biggest side person is Mr. Brown, and he's got the B, but I don't really see that. From everything we've seen of him, especially recently since he had the backstory with Hashida Suzu, I don't really see that of Mr. Brown coming out and being the bad guy here. But I mean, we'll see what happens, I guess. His house burned down. Then he met Hashida Suzu. I don't know, maybe that got him entangled in this whole thing. Maybe it's just his daughter, not even her from the future. Just her now. The villain is a 6-year-old. That'd be a twist. Maybe it's those Yu-Gi-Oh guys. The guys who wanted to kidnap Ferris because they beat her at a card game. Maybe it's one of them. They're just really hardcore Rynet battlers. And they're the true evil behind it all. Are there any other characters in this show that I'm forgetting? Maybe it's the Alpaca Man. Ruka's dad. There's no other characters. Like Ferris's random co-worker. So, you know, there's not many people to choose from. But whatever, we'll see what happens. Could be the black guy. The guy from the alleyway that Okabe talked English to. Could be anybody. We'll see what happens. It's just a good episode. I liked it a lot. So let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. Subscribe. Check out all my links below for Patreon and Discord and all that. Thank you guys for the support. And I'll see you next time.